I spent the last few weeks rebuilding our entire content engine around 2 AI tools, and what they replaced was honestly a little hard to believe. Brands that we worked with were spending 8 to 12 grand a month at least on UGC retainers to get maybe 40 videos out the door. The new workflow does that volume in a single afternoon for about $200 in subscription costs, and the content is actually performing better than what a lot of human creators are making. My team has done over 1 billion views on TikTok Shop, worked with over 100 brands, and we just launched a brand over 500K just off their launch in 3 months alone. And this new workflow blew our minds. I'm gonna walk you through the exact Claude and Arcads workflow that we're using, show you a brand called Rosabello that's pulling in 600K per month doing this AI strategy, and by the end you're gonna find out the one move that takes AI from a volume engine to a real revenue engine. That last point is super important because I see too many videos on YouTube covering this stuff by creators who don't actually have skin in the TikTok game. First, you need to actually understand how this AI workflow can replace $10,000 plus in creative monthly budgets. So at my agency, we see brands coming in, paying anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 a month in creator retainers and sending samples and looking just to make ROI from organic content. Now, that's been the traditional model that brands have been using for the last few years when it comes to paying creators and affiliates on TikTok Shop to make content and then get that content and repurpose it to paid ads. Now, it can be quite expensive to get retainers, send samples out, and then hope that creators are not only posting, but actually driving revenue from this content. And so it can be quite a challenge in terms of time spent, money spent, and samples and photo shoots and all these different things that brands are paying for when it comes to hoping and trying to get creators to make them revenue. So I've seen brands paying up to $50,000 or $100,000 and even up to $1 million plus in marketing costs trying to get creators to perform, and oftentimes it can be very inefficient. Now, what's quite cool is Claude and Arcads can now produce such a volume of content in a single afternoon for a few $100s in subscription costs between Claude, Arcads, and a few other AI tools, and it lands with a total cost per video of $5, but a lot of the videos can even cost as little as 20 cents to $1. My client, Pudgy Penguins, we launched them on TikTok with creators to build out their creator program. They got 66 million views in the first 3 weeks, and then they sold out in Walmart USA within 5 days of going live on the back of our TikTok strategy. So we've done this for years, and that was all before AI was even a part of the picture here. So AI gives you the volume, your human creators give you trust, and the brands that are actually winning the biggest on TikTok Shop and Amazon right now are actually running both of these systems in tandem. And that's why this works. Now, the reason most brands haven't figured this out yet is they're making the same mistake every time that they try to make AI videos and do this UGC. So let me show you what it is. The default mistake that brands make is they'll open up a tool like Arcads, Higgsfield, or whatever software tool that they're gonna be using to generate the videos. They'll paste in a generic ChatGPT script, hit generate and post, and then typically retention dies in the first 3 seconds because the avatar simply reads as neutral, the script reads as neutral, boring, and the algorithm punishes that style of content. So as you can see, if you're using any of these typical actors, I've already seen them a bunch over Twitter and over other platforms. Like if you're using just like a typical testimonial style influencer that other brands are also using, it's gonna be hard to stand out with this style. And it's probably not gonna generate much in terms of ROI, especially not from organic content right now. And so the real deeper problem here is that there's no underlying strategy behind this. It's really hard to use a talking head style AI video because talking head style videos already don't really convert that well. And then if you're also not even pulling what's working from Calidata or Fastmoss, and you don't know if you don't know what's moving units right now, you're just producing more AI slop, brain rot that nobody pretty much asked for. Now, before I hand you the prompt that lets this all happen, I have something to share with you. If you're already running TikTok Shop and Amazon and you want my team to build this engine for you, this is exactly what we do at Maverick Creative, my agency, every day. We help 7- and 8-figure TikTok Shop brands add an extra $1 million in revenue using our AI and human UGC systems and our roster of 39,000 human creators. So link to book a call is in the description. The Claude prompt that writes UGC that doesn't sound like AI. The first step of this is the input layer. Before you ever open Claude, you want to pull top performing creatives in your category from Calidata and Fastmoss and study the hook structure and what's actually being handled in the first 3 seconds. So you should be studying the videos on your feed, using Claude as an input, adding this information in there, and giving your strategy a head start before just asking AI or ChatGPT to generate scripts for you. The next thing we do is set up the prompt the way that our team runs it. We feed Claude the brand voice, the customer pain points, the winning hook angles that we pulled out, the product mechanism, and then we ask for 10+ variations because most AI scripts sound fake. since people just ask for one perfect version. So we actually ask for 10 messy human style scripts, and then we pick the 2 that sound the best. One of the big key things that I do here is what I call the 20/80 rule, which is actually doing research on best performers in the category, using Calidata, Fastmoss, and just the For You and Explore pages to actually research content and find out what's performing. And then what I do is I actually input that into the Claude accounts and give it an idea of the types of scripts that are performing and have it start rewriting and adding more hooks, more angles, and call to actions based on what's already winning in the category. From there, I'm able to ask Claude to create more of these scripts and looking like my ideal customers. And those 5-minute rewrites are the difference between a video that converts and a video that gets skipped. Avatar selection is important because it's about customer matching. So you want to be picking avatars that look like your buyers or look like people from your buyers' lives. So rather than choosing the typical influencer styles, if your customer is a 45-year-old mom in suburban Texas, you want an avatar that fits this demographic. So people do buy from people that look like them, and AI doesn't change that. In fact, what I've found that works best is actually looking for these styles that we've been creating, whether it's a Chinese healer style, a health and skin doctor, a dermatologist, or even like a Pilates girl aesthetic. And really, this is actually not one of my accounts, but the Miami Dog Daddy, it's a dog trainer account. This video we made, it's a monk healer. So I would say the authority figures have been a massive leg up right now, and that's the typical avatars that we're choosing. For example, a skincare brand will choose a dermatologist, a grandma, an Amish person. Those are some of the authority figure angles that we're using right now. Picking avatars like this is really about trying new things and testing a lot. So we do more than one avatar per brand. We want to have that volume, and we want to make sure it's as successful as possible. And so volume can be a key aspect of that. So the setting that most brands skip is the default Arcads settings. Will oftentimes produce that more default, more so robotic delivery that everybody associates with AI UGC. So I always recommend slowing the pace down slightly, adding natural pauses in the script, picking a voice that actually matches the avatar's age, gender, etc. And that's why these small tweaks help our content read as much more real and interesting to actually watch. For the volume target, we run 3 to 5 AI agent pages at least at once, oftentimes pushing 10 plus counts at a certain time. Each account pushing up to 5 to 8 videos a day. That's 25 to 40 plus pieces of content hitting the ecosystem every day. And with anything less, you're running a creative experiment that won't compound. Our Rosabella is doing $600,000 a month on this style playbook. So looking at the numbers, Rosabella has done about $700,000 in the last month, which is about May 2026. So that's very significant. On TikTok Shop, they have a high popularity score, and with over 14,000 affiliates and 954 active affiliates. With over 5,000 new videos in the last 30 days, that's about 5 videos per creator per month, which is volume you cannot hit without AI in the pipeline somewhere. As you can see, they've done over 19,000 orders, 700K revenue, and about 600 or so affiliates in the last month. What's crazy is that 98% of Rosabella's revenue right now is coming from their affiliates. Their own brand accounts drove only a few $100s across the entire month. They've offloaded their entire content engine to a creator army, and this creator army does the majority of the work for them. As you can see here, the product card is 40% of their revenue, and it's kind of hard to understand exactly what's driving product card revenue, other than understanding that e-commerce creators, affiliates, are promoting the brand, and that's making it so successful. That's 56% here. Self-operated accounts are 5%. Self-operated account is not driving revenue. Self-operated account, the Rosabella brand pages or page is just a bottom of funnel asset. That's not actually leading to real revenue. This is a very important visual to understand. As you can see, a lot of videos start out with this, "I will be forever grateful for the cancer researcher." This is a common angle in their content. The main video got 390,000 views and 17 grand in revenue. And that led with a hook which was borrowed from one of the authority figures, and that's the angle that Claude can help script and write multiple versions of it. The reason this whole system works comes down to what you stack on top of it. AI tests angles fast and cheap. The angles that win get handed to real creators on your roster who carry the trust into categories where it actually matters. That's the move that most brands miss, and it's the move that separates a TikTok shop listing doing 20 grand a month from one doing 200 grand a month. If you're a 7 or 8 figure TikTok shop or Amazon brand, and you want my team to help build this engine for you with human and AI creators, we help brands actually add an extra $1 million in revenue through these systems, and with our roster of 39,000 creators. Link to book a call is in the description box below.